Hello there. Welcome to a restorative yoga practice. This is going to be a 20-minute restorative practice to mitigate some stress, specifically stress that is specifically held in the shoulders. So let's get started. For this, you're going to need 2 blocks, a bolster, a blanket, and to get yourself started, it's always nice to create a little bit of space and ambiance for yourself. You do not have to have a special room for this practice. You can do this in the living room with the kids around, just with your mat, and you don't even need a mat, right? So try not to make a big thing out of your practices at this time. You can restore yourself quite quickly with just a few breaths. Okay, so for this practice, I am going to actually grab an oil. The oil that I have closest to me is a calming blend. It's called Adaptive, and I'm just going to place this on the back of my neck. For me, this sort of helps sort of shift. It shifts the energy, the space, the time. It lets my nervous system know that this is a time to settle in, to focus on myself. So that when this time that I've given to myself is complete, I'm able to give what I've received and given to myself to others. So for those of you that think I don't have time for this, please take a couple breaths, stay for 5 minutes, stay for 10 minutes, and just allow yourself a little bit of space to restore and to recover. Okay, so I believe I said let's get started. So let's really get started. Make yourself comfortable in a comfortable seat. So you can sit on a meditation cushion, you can sit cross-legged, you can sit in a chair. Do what feels good. I happen to be sitting up on a block, and there's a pillow on top of my block, so it's actually quite nice. I have a nice seat for myself that's stable. My legs have a nice cushy pillow underneath them. And go ahead and close your eyes, please. Go ahead and take 3 deep breaths. And then I'd like for you to place your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your belly, and notice your starting point. Take a moment to really pay attention to your energetic heart. My hope is that by the end of this time, you'll feel inspired. Inspired to bring your heart into more of your conversations, to more of the conversation. And then please gently open your eyes, release your hands, and sweep your hands up and over your head. And then exhale, take eagle arms. So right arm underneath left, palms come together. Feel the stretch across the back of the shoulders, and then draw the elbows away from your body and then lift them up. And then you can continue that trajectory where the elbows are moving up and away until you find an arch in the upper back. And then exhale, draw the elbows in. Bring the elbows out and up. And draw the elbows in towards yourself. And then come back to the place where we started and come into a twist. So the left hand's going to come to the right knee, the right hand behind you. Keep the twist high and tight in the upper chest. Then come back to center, pause, and then take the hands up once again. So opposite side, left underneath right, eagle arms. Notice. Begin to bring the elbows out and up. Continue that pathway up as you begin to arch your spine. And exhale, elbows come in, you come into yourself. And inhale, elbows out and up. And elbows in towards your heart. Come back to where we started and make the twist. So moving towards the left this time, right hand to the left knee. Twist again high and tight in the upper back. And then go ahead and come back to center and close your eyes and just notice the shift that's already beginning. All right, go ahead and make your way onto your hands and your knees. It's quite chilly in my den, so I'm going to keep my big poncho on. I might try to tuck it in so you can at least just see. But when I practice at home, I'm usually quite cozy. I have sweats on and I'm very cozy and have a warm space. So go ahead and make your way onto your hands and your knees. Extend your right leg behind you. Bend your toes so that they're tucked under. And then let this movement guide the heart forward. Okay. And then I'd like for you to settle yourself onto your hands, stabilize. One little trick I like to do when I'm working in these kinds of positions is to bring my foot towards the center, and this creates some stability to hold towards the center. So we're here, and I'd like you to just do 10 little pulses with the hip. And then circle 3 times. Beginning to feel the heat in the hip. And then now extend the left leg behind you. Press the heel back and forward, but allow the heart, the trajectory of the heart to move forward as well. Good. And then go ahead and bend the knee 10 times, pulse. And then 3 times, circle left hip. And then move through cat and cow to bring balance to both the left and the right side. And then come into a familiar downward facing dog. Your big toes to touch. Take the right leg high to the sky. And step the right foot through. Right? If it's not happening so easily, you would bring the left knee down and then guide and place the right foot forward. From here, you're going to bring your hands on the inside of the right foot. Turn and face the left side of your mat so the edges of your heel are parallel with the edges of your mat, the outside edges of your foot rather. And then I'd like for you to pause here with support so the shoulders and the wrists are aligned. And then bring the heart forward. And then bring the heart down. Bring the heart through. bringing the heart into our conversations. Sense of softness, gentleness, friendliness. And I'd like for you to walk the foot forward and step back, down dog. Bring your big toes to touch. Take the left leg high. Exhale, step the foot through. Bring your hands on the inside. And now face the right side of the mat. Again, support your heart. Shoulders in alignment with the wrists. Bring the heart forward and then begin to bow at the heart. Let the head go below the heart, but let the heart take the seat of this pose. And then I'd like for you to walk the hands forward, step back into our familiar down dog again. Take the right leg high again. Step the right foot through once again. And then bring the hands back to side one. Again. Okay. So from here, try to keep your hips level. If you have a block nearby, you can place a block on the top of your sacrum to make sure that one side doesn't go higher. If you have a heavy block, it's a little bit better because it will topple off if you lose that balance in the hips, right? So what we're going to do is walk the hands over towards the right side and see if you can maintain an awareness of the center. So both sitting bones are reaching high, both legs are strong, you're not on one side, you're trying to keep that center, even if that means you don't go as far to the one side. And then go ahead and come through center, walk your hands over towards the opposite side. And then go ahead and come back to center. This time, and I'd like for you to listen, walk your right hand, sorry, I asked you to listen and then I told you the wrong thing. So walk the left hand over towards the right side of the mat. Good. Now take the right hand and walk it over towards the left side of your foot. If you can grab the foot, great. If not, don't worry about it. And then from here, begin to open the chest. So you should feel this quite a big stretch in the left inner thigh. So the more you can maintain an awareness of the center, the more even that's going to be, okay? Go ahead and release, come back to center. Now the opposite side, take the right hand over towards the left. The left hand's going to come over. You're going to open the chest away from the center. So into the center, away from the center. And then I'd like for you to release, come back to center, remove the block, go ahead and come back to the front, step back downward facing, actually step up into a forward fold. Here, gently lift the head, lift the heart, lift the toes, bend the knees, and balance with your toes up, knees in alignment with the hips. And then go ahead and have a seat. Bring the soles of your feet together into Baddha Konasana. Take the hands behind you and scoot the hips forward as far as you can. Okay, so we're going to get into the hips for a little bit, and then we're going to go back to the shoulders. We're going to continue to be in the hips for a little bit. It's very chilly. All right, so the feet are together. The heart is lifted, and I'd like for you to fold forward. Just begin to draw your heart in. Bring your attention towards yourself and give yourself the gift of your own presence. And from here, go ahead and come on up and take a hold. You're going to extend that left leg out. Scooch back. Great. And then you're going to bend the right knee. And one of two options. One is that you just hook the elbow around the foot and rock like a baby. If this is unavailable, you can just support your foot, right? So we're really just trying to receive in this pose. Receive that flexibility, fluidity. And then I'd like for you to take this right knee and place it right over the left knee. So it's half Gomukhasana. And then walk your hands forward. And then walk your hands back. Extend both legs. And bend the left. Make sure your ankle stays nice and strong. And then place the left knee over the right knee. Walk the hands forward. And fold. So once we've experienced something, we can really never unknow it. And this is one of the ways the practice changes us. We see things and we can't not see them. We can see both of our light and our shadow. And this understanding and awareness of self, met with love and friendliness and kindness, is what changes us, which is what allows us to be vulnerable. And when we're vulnerable, we are more attractive. We are more approachable. We are more relatable. And we move towards what is real and away from what is superficial. What is cosmetic, what is surface level. Go ahead and walk your hands back. Bring your hands behind you. Bring your feet just a little bit wider than hip distance and rock the knees from side to side, releasing any tension in the hips. And then what I'd like for you to do is bring the soles of the feet together. This time your feet are far from your pelvis, and then you'll take your arms and thread them underneath your legs, coming onto the elbows. So notice what's happening in the shoulder. I know this is quite an experience for the hips as well, and the outer IT band. But what I'd like for you to do here is just feel the shoulders soften. Maybe even walk the hands forward. And please take just 3 deep breaths here. And I'd like for you to gently walk your hands back. Bring the feet onto the ground and bring your back all the way down onto your mat. Draw your knees into your chest and give yourself a big hug for being here. For giving these 20 minutes to yourself. And take hold of your feet, come into happy baby pose. Just kind of rock from side to side. And then 2 options here. Either bring your feet together, coming into Baddha Konasana with your hands on your belly at heart. Or you can extend your legs and come into Shavasana. I'm limited in my space to come into Shavasana, so I'm going to keep my feet down. But go ahead and decide. And of course, you can switch or change your decision, do what feels right. And then with eyes closed, feel the breath in your belly smooth and steady. Let the breath in your belly and the breath in your heart soothe your entire system. Just continue here with eyes closed, deep belly breaths. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like. When you're ready, make your way to a seat. Left hand on the heart, right hand on the belly. And with much observation and gentleness, receive again, continue to receive the gift of your presence. And then allow that gift to be given freely to the people close to you, as that ripples out to all of us. Please bring your hands together. I honor the light that we share. And I say namaste.